What's going on, guys? Episode 23, the Jordan episode. I was born on the 23rd, so I like to associate myself with the number 23. Better, most importantly, though, it's 2021. We got 2020 behind us. We're looking forward. We're making progress, and we got to start this one off early. We got to make it good. I'm joined by Faisal. I'm joined by Justin, the usual guys. Faisal, tell me how your New Year's was, buddy.
Yeah, man. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you guys. It was good, man. We, just family and friends. Didn't do anything too crazy, but definitely a good time to just unwind and look forward to starting the new year. So, we had some good food, good company, and ready to start off. Man, tomorrow's Monday, so back to work, new year, but it's good. Looking at it in a positive way. I'm trying to get back into my routine. I was actually talking to y'all about it off stream or off the show. I've been telling myself tomorrow, the first the first Monday of the year, of the new year, I'm gonna get back on my routine, which includes just waking up with enough time to start my day before work, coming back from work, trying to work out, trying to stream, just being more productive. It's really easy to, and I guess it's almost warranted at the end of the year to kind of let your routine kind of alter a little bit and enjoy, stuff that you wouldn't normally do throughout the year. But overall, it was great, man. How about you?
Mine was great. Went back home, visited family and whatnot. Had a good time. Saw a majority of the friends I needed to see. Got a little bit of time with them. Saw my dad, so that was really important to me. And kind of stepped back, like you said. Lost my routine for a bit. Relaxed. Didn't have to work too much. And then now, like you're saying, tomorrow's Monday. It's go time. I'm already got my alarm set. I'm gonna go running tomorrow morning. I got to get back in the kind of shape I want to be in, and that starts with day one. So looking really forward to kind of getting on a good schedule, getting healthier, and being more productive this year. I would say that's kind of like where my New Year's resolution is. Sounds like that's where yours is too, Faisal. Justin, what are you bringing to the table for this New Year's? What are you going to do different that makes you a better person?
What am I gonna do different?
What are you going to step up?
That's
it
a
can
trip.
be that.
I mean, my number one priority right now in life is to be the best dad I can be. Right. So, I was super blessed to have an amazing dad growing up who was present. My parents stayed together. God bless them for that. That's not the norm. And so I have a really great example, and I have a lot to live up to because my dad was the absolute man and still is. So, every day improving. With my wife, she got COVID over the holidays and stuff, and so I ended up having to step in and be the full time, the single dad thing for a bit there. It felt like and it was a great opportunity to kind of bond with my son a lot more, to get to hang out with him. Just seeing him open up more and more and be more comfortable with me alone was awesome. So for the holidays, what we did was we actually postponed our Christmas, like with my family and stuff that we normally do every year, to New Year's. So our New Year's was kind of like we did New Year's and we did Christmas morning and all that on New Year's Day and stuff. So it was great. We had a good chance to reconnect with my parents. I know my parents were missing their grandbaby a lot, and I was definitely missing them, dude. When we were quarantined, 2-3 weeks because I was sick, and then Jen got sick after me, so we had to wait for her to get better. And so, I mean, when I tell you I hadn't seen the sun in like weeks, it was it's crazy what that does to your psyche. You know what I mean? Not seeing other people, not having human interaction and stuff. So it's really good to be kind of back out there. This year, I want to stay strong on the stream like I've been doing, stay strong on the content, but I really want to find more ways to keep the community involved. You know what I mean? It's so much more fun to do things with folks, so much more fun to do things together rather than me just always like playing or queuing up by myself, But it's great to hear that you guys both, had a solid holiday. Hearing Wes Price say he was relaxing, like that's not the norm. So shout out to you for getting a little bit of, a little breather there. Always grinding and hustling like you do, so that's good. And Faisal, getting involved in the war zone, letting the war zone ruin your sleep schedule a little bit, and and game later than you normally would with the boys. So I'm always glad to hear you guys had a good time. But we're back here now on my X23. I'm actually kind of surprised, Wesley, you didn't say something out of pocket about it being 23, like being the LeBron episode or something. You went with the safe call. You said it was the Jordan episode. I respect you for it.
23 is the Jordan number.
What are you doing? I'm more likely to say it's my number than LeBron's.
Your number? When were you 23?
All right, so 23, I was born on the 23rd in December. So I always bet on 23 when it's roulette because you always got to bet on your birthday. 23 is just a very significant number to me. I like rocked 23 when I played sports back in the day. I like it's like always just been a good lucky number for me.
There's something like about your birthday number that always feels like the lucky number. For me, it was 17. You know, I was born June 17th. And growing up, it was like anytime I saw 17 or whatever, it felt like that was the number. Like, so I feel like that's definitely something that, you know, everyone does, take their birthday number and make it their kind of lucky icon. So
just so happened to be Jordan's number also. So
you know, minor detail. You know, we can let that one slide.
So yeah, no, we gotta. And I was seeing it on Twitter. I'm kind of changing gears a little bit. I was seeing it on Twitter. You know, different pro players, Halo pro players. I saw Trippy tweeted. You know, I think I saw Spartan the dog tweeted, saying I finally get to say Halo Infinite comes out this year. You know, so that when I read tweets like that, I was like, damn, that's true. Even though it is, you know, the third quarter of the year, you know, being fall 2021, but it is cool. You know, the year for Halo Infinite is upon us. So, you know, exciting stuff for Halo and the community and the fans. But for today's episode, it's the new year. We're going to start integrating different ideas into our shows. And I don't want to jump the gun too much because even honestly, us three haven't even really fully dissected it just yet. But we want to make sure we're keeping things fresh. And well, ultimately, the most important thing for us is consistency and making sure we bring you guys content. But not to stray too much off topic, but for today's episode, what we decided to do was some sort of like a community segment sort of deal. Probably should have had a better name or official kind of way to present this. But what we did is we went back into the first episode on the On My Ice YouTube channel and looked through the comments because that video, it being our first one, it got a lot of comments on it, a lot of activity. So we were like, hey, you know what? We should go through the comments and see if we could find some good questions, you know, that we could just bounce around, casually discuss. And, you know, we got a few of them here that I'm looking at. So the questions all were from username Super Hippo. And he had a bunch of good
Super
questions
Hippo.
on. Yeah, shout out Super Hippo. But, you know, some of these like best team logos, best name, most underrated player, best sniper, all this stuff. Obviously, we did some of these in our previous episodes. But what I want to start with, and I'll kind of navigate my way through some more questions. But I want to start with the best team logo across Halo's history, right? So, and obviously, right now, the way it's the past few years for Halo, it's esports, it's been orgs, right? So the best teams have been like the Optics and the Liquids, and yeah, their logos are awesome. But when I think all of our answers would probably be like more the old school, you know, like user created, you know, more cultured logos, if you will. So I want to pass it on to Wes, being Hunter, you're the OG too, but Wes is also an OG. But to one of the OGs and kind of kick this segment off for us, Wes, the best team logo across Halo's history. And I think, Justin, if I'm not mistaken, we might even have a little.
Yeah, we have a little reference.
Just
I'm wondering if Wes needs a little help. Do you need some help up there, bro?
No.
Okay, go ahead, Wes.
I think the obvious answer that everyone's always going to say is Final Boss. And Final Boss's logo and team name is epic by any means. If you want to create a dynasty in a video game realm, like you want to be the last final boss of the video game that nobody can beat, right? You want to be that unstoppable force. You had the big monster as the picture. So absolutely sick. I actually was a big fan of TD and Straight as well. I think Dynasty, I was a part of Dynasty, was not satisfied with that though. So after looking at those, the biggest one off the list, the one that's the most personal to me, that's probably in my top 3, I'd probably kick TD out, was BTH. But that's just because it just
talking about the BTH,
why.
the dragon logo, right? The BTH dragon.
Hey, the BTH dragon logo went hard. Okay, y'all were not ready for the BTH dragon logo. Like that team, we never lost in those jerseys.
Do people even know what, like, that was such a short-lived thing, but it was so controversial?
On that old school BTH team?
That was me, Demon, Scotty, and Cypher. And
that was before
we got third that tournament, but we were forced to take the jerseys off.
I remember Cypher was popping off that event too.
Give us the lowdown. Give us the lowdown on
Cypher
that.
And not
happened.
me. Like I wouldn't just. I didn't go 18-9 or something in Game 5.
No, I remember because Cypher was like the one.
Cypher was going on,
and at the time he was Hines. Like his name was Hines, right? And then
I think
Hines X.
He had changed it to Cypher.
Already,
Um,
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but when we picked him up, he was Hines, and we were like, "You got to get rid of Hines."
Yeah, because there was already Richie, obviously.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they had
we weren't playing that.
that.
So yeah, he was cold, and that team was really good, and we never lost in those jerseys.
Mm.
We were forced to take those off because of the because it was a copyright logo. The guy that made it for us stole it from some arena football team that we
That's
had
so
no idea at the
funny.
time. So
That's so funny.
yeah, we could have gotten in big trouble if we continued to wear those.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, imagine you're on TV or something and that happens, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is not your logo.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
And back then, like, stuff was done a lot more, I don't know, for lack of a better word, unofficially almost. Like
Mhm.
We didn't
you
know what we were doing.
No,
we
that's
were
what
just...
I'm saying. So like, and even the league, right? They're just all right, print it on
It
the
was-
jersey and we're
No,
good.
that
Like,
wasn't it. That wasn't it.
It wasn't.
It
This
wasn't?
isn't this the arena
No.
team that was.
No,
It wasn't this one.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
I'm
Oh, they're talking
blowing it,
about the
man.
one where they stole it from. Okay, no,
Yeah, yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
it.
The
I
one
couldn't
they
find-
stole.
It had
was,
wings, I think. If I
It did
remember
have
right.
wings. It
That's
was
right.
sick. But it was like a copy and paste exact
That's
replica.
crazy.
And they took out the team name and put BTH on the middle of the dragon. And those jerseys were so fire because they were red. And we were like the only one rocking red jerseys. We were psyched at that.
There's
Those
like a
are
dragon
super
on
ultra
it. There's
limited
like-
edition now,
The
right?
red
Like
the red jerseys went hard.
Red's a hard color.
Yeah.
the ones that the jerseys that always stood out to me were like the pink ones. Like I remember one random team had like a pink
Dude,
jersey
Active
way
Rush
back
did
when.
that stuff. I'm
Oh yeah,
like,
it was
Yeah.
Active
what are y'all
Rush, and you know,
doing?
They
But,
were just trying to. I think there was an
yeah.
orange one too, or wasn't a team orange?
mhm, there was one team that had like bright orange, like almost like
mean,
Dragon Ball Z
low-key,
orange.
Low key, I mean, if I was a team, and I would like, I don't hate the choice of picking like a pink, just because you want to try to have a different color, because everyone's going for the blacks, the
The
grays,
black,
the
yeah.
Nah,
Even-
you
I mean-
just want it to work with your logo. You just want it to like mesh well. Pink just sticks out. Like it doesn't. You want to look good, feel good,
Fuck
play
it.
good, and you can't do that without
I
like having some
mean,
swagger in your jersey.
I could feel good in some pink. I don't know, man. I feel like
well, that's on you then.
yeah, obviously we've got like a bunch of logos here on screen, but there's so many more. The one that stands out to me from back in the day was like the Heaven and Earth logo was super sick. Obviously so many people are going to pick the FB logo. Fun fact, the FB logo, if I remember correctly, it's actually a final boss from like a super old like 16-bit game. I can't remember the game off the top of my head, but it was like based on a real boss from a game that was seen as like, oh my gosh, such a hard boss to beat.
I
Really?
doubt it.
Yeah, so they kind of
Yeah, I don't
like
know
took
the lore.
the like it had like a similar shape, but then they took it and like really detailed it and made it their own. They didn't just copy and paste it like, you know, the
they
BTS
probably just
dragon
used
or
it for
whatever, but
inspiration.
they used it
and
as like
then made,
inspiration, exactly,
yeah.
so that people would know what it meant to see that like menacing figure. You know, we're obviously pulling from like from Halo 2 to Halo Reach. I think there's no denying we had like so many sick teams because, you know, prior to that, you know, the orgs hadn't jumped in, all that stuff, so we had so much like creativity, people kind of trying to make their way. I remember the agency's logo from back in the day, 5K. There's so many of them where it's like, you know, they were iconic. For me, it comes down to FB. I mean, that's the logo. When I think of like those hoodies they put out a couple years ago, where I
Dude,
didn't
those
get
Nike
one.
with the dry fit ones.
Yeah, the dry fit Nike ones that I didn't get one. I was so mad, and I'm still
Choke.
mad to this day that I didn't get it because those are so sick. But Faisal, what do you think, man? Like, what logos kind of stand out to you?
So before I answer that question, I ended up getting one of those hoodies. So no, those are sick. I remember they were so limited too. So it's you know, it was really cool if you're able to snag one. But for me, similar to you guys, I have to go with Final Boss as if I had to just give one answer. But like you were saying, Justin, there's so many that come to mind. I really liked. And I think I've mentioned this over previous episodes too, that I was a big Straight Rippin' fan when I was early getting introduced into Halo and just the team in general. But I just liked everything about them, like the way they were promoted, the way they're on these commercials, and T Squared had his, you know, what was that one channel he was on, like G4?
G4.
Yeah, and he was on, and there
TV.
was this like, it was really cool to me. And all
He was on MTV Cribs or something like that too, wasn't he?
Cribs, and he was on these commercials, like the T-Mobile, I think, commercial or something. And I was like, man, like this is all through playing Halo. I was like, I'm good, you know, that's what I want to do one day. Like maybe I can do it. And you know, obviously, like, so that was, they were always significant to me. So, and their logo I always thought was sick. You have that claw kind of ripping through the you know, that shield, and it's straight ripping on there like that. So I really liked their logo. Team Classic, I really enjoyed theirs too, because obviously, you know, they went with the classic video game text and the look. So they had a really good one. I'm trying to think who else. I had a couple. Instincts as well. Obviously,
Instincts
they're on
is the worst.
I don't think so. I thought it was
Look
kind
at
of
that thing. It's so ugly. What is it?
That's why I like it. It's like a weird.
Trees. It's some
like
trees and then this
mysterious.
like.
I guess you're right. It is kind
I
of.
don't know.
How come the
It's
creature isn't
ugly,
a different
dude.
color from the trees? How come the trees and the
Instinct
creature are all?
If Instinct had a better logo,
Actually,
Dude,
maybe you're right. I'm asleep. Their
they would
logo's
have
not
had.
that
They would have had to not like because I always used to like yeah, I'm watching Roy and Lunch win every tournament. But I was like, y'all's jerseys are ugly as hell. They used to like rock the green ones too, like the dark forest green ones. I was
Nobody wants to rock a dark green
like-
shirt. Like,
I was like, if Roy and Lunch ever end up asking me to team, I'm telling them to come to BTH because
we got red dragon shirts. All right,
Yeah,
no, I'm just
we are
kidding.
leaving that and we are leaving that where it is. You can
We
tell
talked about- we
you can
talked
tell
about-
Walsh and Macchio they can have it.
We talked about carbon too, and how like we almost didn't even realize how subtle that was until looking at it right now. That it's actually like ties in with the name, and but they too they were rocking green shirts too. You know, it's like
I like their steel jerseys.
Carbon steel jerseys were dope,
like-
and
I
then they
like
had that. It went really good with the green, like their logo.
Yeah,
was sick.
exactly. They made that work.
Every time
Very-
I think of
very
that
clean.
steel jersey, I think of Nated like going carbon, like
I think
of
yelling at the
Defy,
top of his
yeah.
lungs. I think
Yeah.
that's the event they got second, or they got a really high placing when it was like
it was
him
the second
and,
or third.
I think it was
They
like
got-
second.
I think they got second with Soviet.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. What a guy.
And Nated was getting hyped in that steel carbon jersey. So every time I think of it, it's like I can't help but think of that moment.
When you say Soviet, like that just brought up a whole idea for me for like a future episode. We've got to do like the "Where are they now?" type of segment. You know, some of
If
these
you tell-
people, it's like.
That's I don't think anybody's gonna ever have the question to where is Soviet.
You
No,
know,
having teamed with Soviet and knowing Soviet, I didn't know where he was when we teamed with him.
So you damn well don't know where he is now.
It's been 15 years. There's no way I'm finding that guy.
well, let's think about Halo 5 for a second. Let's think about the more modern with the orgs and everything else. We gotta show them at least a little bit of love. What org logos kind of speak to you guys?
I
know
always
for
like,
me-
I always
go
like
ahead.
CLGs.
CLG is
I
cool.
always like
It's clean.
Counter Logic Gaming's. It's clean. It's like their
Mhm.
colors are cool. Like I like their colors. They're definitely solid. That's one of my favorite, I would say, orgs combos for sure.
I just almost said TSM and I was like, they're not even in Halo. Never mind.
Nah,
I think for me immediately, I think the Splice, with the snake, that's
Splice,
the S,
yeah.
is so
that's
sick.
solid.
That was a cool one.
Splice is a good one. Liquids was it's clean. I think
Mhm.
I
Liquids
like
is.
liquids.
I think it's very appropriate to what their brand is. Like for some
I don't
reason,
understand what liquids is. Like it's the horse, but I don't understand what that has anything to do with being liquid.
I think they're
I
a
don't
water
know.
horse.
Wait, what?
I feel like it's a water horse or something. Like it's
There's
a
no way it's a seahorse.
whatever.
It's a chess
the-
piece. It's like a. I feel like it's a rook, not a rook. Is it a rook from chess?
Maybe that. Now that you say it, it looks just like that. So
That's what I feel like it is. I think Envy was always solid. They had like clean,
Envy had a good one.
clean
I like
branding.
EG.
EG.
EG's good. Are we gonna say Tox?
We can. I mean, if you want, if you think. I mean, that logo is literally just their letters with the
I
little
like what
snipe
they're
medal.
doing. I just don't. I feel like they're just like because it was only Tox. And
Mhm.
like it's only their Halo team, and like they're not a big brand, that you're gonna overlook their logo a little bit more. So, but I kind of liked what they were doing
It
there.
was subtle.
Yeah,
How do y'all feel
like-
about Optics logo? Optic Gaming.
I mean, it's iconic. You can't really go wrong
is
with it.
iconic.
It's not
How we-
like yeah.
how we missing FaZe, dude? FaZe has
FaZe
a sick
is a sick
FaZe
one.
is the
FaZe is a
sickest
sick one.
logo, dude. 100 Thieves is nasty.
But FaZe
too.
hasn't been in Halo. We're
Yeah,
talking about
phase.
Halo.
Yeah, we were talking about Halo. That's
Wow.
why. That's why I couldn't use
Yeah.
TSM because TSM is clean as heck, dude. Yeah.
I like
FaZe
FaZe
is
and
big.
FaZe and 100 Thieves outside of Halo are
I
probably.
mean, 100
my
Thieves
two
probably has
favorite
the best
orgs.
branding. in
FaZe
all
and
of esports
100
right now.
Thieves are like the culture when it comes to
Yes.
gaming. Like they are like what they
Mhm.
set the precedent for what's cool in gaming. Like
I mean, we
that's the
see
way
athletes like rocking FaZe shorts and like FaZe
Dude, Mark
chain
Cuban
and 100
was
Thieves
wearing a
chains
FaZe
and
hoodie
stuff.
today, or
Was he?
yesterday. Yeah, I saw a
Mhm.
picture on Twitter. Mark Cuban was like taking a video with his daughter or something. He was wearing a FaZe hoodie.
Yeah,
That's
I saw those
awesome.
pictures recently. It was like Bronny when he was training with LeBron. It was like
Well,
he was
he's on
rocking the
FaZe.
he was rocking
Yeah.
the FaZe shorts. Yeah,
He had the
I didn't even
FaZe
know
chain
that.
too. He had the FaZe chain
Yeah,
on.
so
But Juju
ridiculous. Like,
Smith-Schuster is signed to FaZe too.
that's
Yeah.
so, just like ridiculous, like that integration with the culture. Like, that's just so cool. That's the stuff that, like, man, you know.
Yeah. So what about the Warriors look?
I like the Warriors look. I thought it was solid. It was like the little whatever you
It's
want
like
to
a
call it,
worse
soldier
version
guy.
of Dynasties.
No, it's
I would say it's an upgrade. It's a better version of Dynasties.
No, Dynasties is clean. Look at that.
Dude, pull up the.
Dude, that looks like someone drew it in paint, dude. The
Yeah.
Dynasty
I was
one
on
looks like someone
Warriors,
drew
bro.
that in paint, dog.
I was on Warriors for 2 events.
Yeah. You don't think the logo is good?
No.
See, and honestly, that graphic isn't doing some of these logos justice either.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm looking at them on Google, and some of them are.
Well, the
a lot
reason
better when
Dynasties actually kind of like I retract any statement I made about it. I mean, not liking it because I think on a purple jersey it looked
badass.
I mean,
Yeah,
the purple jerseys were dope.
purple
Yeah.
jersey.
Badass with a purple jersey.
Well, we knew where Dynasty was no matter what when you walked into the venue. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
there's the purple shirts right there. Like, there they are.
I'm on Dynasty. I'm looking for my teammates. I'm like, got him. All right, yeah. we're good.
Yeah. Everybody's here.
Your team has black jerseys. You're not finding your teammates.
I'm looking at this random, like, you go into this freaking hole when you start Googling like old Halo stuff. And this one tournament, it's like the Halo Master Chief Collection Launch Invitational. And you see the agencies on here, Purple Rain, which Maven and Gandhi and Legion. And you got STK, Shoot to Kill, Heinz, Ogre 2, Snakebite, Royal 2.
Mhm.
You got TCM, Riots, Chalky. This was a crazy, the agency, Ninja,
Mhm.
Victory, Fear Itself, Hysteria, Nated.
Is that the
Legit,
straight
Goofy,
ripping one?
McWin.
Is that the straight ripping where it's Ryan Noob, Straight Sick, T Squared, and somebody else, and Roy? They got second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah. I was at that event. I just didn't play.
No, they didn't get second that event.
They didn't get second?
No. I think
What? Does it show the
My-
placings there?
team got second this event.
Let me look it
I
up.
think. No, we got fourth or something, or third. Let me see.
Esports. Are you looking it up or should I look it up?
Can you look it up?
Yeah. yeah.
I'm looking at something right here.
Yeah.
This is pretty. Oh, this is teambeyond.net.
I got it. That was H2A. Yeah, they got second. Straight ripping. Ryan Noob, Roy, Straight Sick,
Okay.
T Squared. While she
our
was the
team-
coach,
yeah.
dude.
No. VWS, which was the team I was with, had gotten second
Yes,
in
fourth.
the PAX Prime Showdown before that.
Gotcha.
And then that one.
You
we
guys
got,
had Wolfmane coaching in that event?
Yeah, shout out.
Egan.
What a
Egan.
guy, dude. Some of these teams like Optic Gaming, Flamesword, Ace, Pistola, Snipe Down, Coach
Dude, these
Elamite.
are some
Like,
wild rosters.
that's some hitter squads there, man. I just remember that event because you had to quit the build like every other game.
That's where it's all started.
So
quit the
much
builds.
QTBs in that tournament and like disconnects and stuff. That was like pre-patch. That was when MCC dropped and that was a mess.
But
Yeah,
I think we kind of touched pretty well on those logos. So
yeah, let us know though. The people got to let us know what their choices are.
Great point.
Yeah.
Please, if you agree with us or disagree with us, let us know in the comments what you think. Wes, what do you got to say? I hear you.
Drop the BTHs in the chat. Just
The BTHs.
put them all in the comments. All BTHs across the board. We all know.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be overwhelmingly agreeing that it's final boss. Like,
Absolutely.
but it's fun to talk about because I think it's one of those things where you got to put them, because they're just so iconic in Halo and in esports even. So you got to put them, but it's fun to break down like the other ones that are also, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm just going to kind of skim through these, and I'm doing this off the top of my head in terms of like which topics we really should try to break down. Another one on here, what do y'all think is, see, most underrated map.
Most underrated.
Can we make that one like most underrated map game type combo? Because I feel like some maps like
let's do that.
You know what I mean?
Most underrated map / game type combination.
Yeah. We're thinking all of Halo here for this one.
Yeah, all of Halo. I will start it off. Okay.
Go ahead.
Maybe mine's not underrated, but because I think it's, if you say it to people that played the game, they'll agree. But I think the most underrated game type and map combo was Station 9 Extraction in Halo 4.
Ooh, that's such a good one.
Dude, Station 9 Extraction in Halo 4. You know what I think of when I think of... Dude, remember when Maniac was making a whole bunch of vines?
Dude, when Scotty ran off the map.
He's like, hey, Scotty, top red, come out, jetpack up there and help me.
Oh, yeah.
It falls off the map.
Dude,
I do remember that when you bring that up.
Maniac is hilarious. But if you know what I'm talking about when I talk about that vine, let me know in the comments. I'm actually going to be reading to see if y'all remember that.
Dude, such a good pick though. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
but that's
Station
such
9
a good
Extraction,
one.
man. Halo, and it's strange. I'm sure if you aren't familiar with which game that's from, it's Halo 4. I think I already said that. But yeah, Station 9 Extraction to me was a pleasant surprise because I'm kind of stubborn when it comes to like change. I mean, I guess most people are, but when it comes to changes in what I already know is good, right? So Halo, adding these new game types and everything, I was a little bit unsure how I would like it, but Station 9 Extraction was actually a amazing game type, played out so well, and I actually think, and I hope that an extraction game type comes back to us in Halo Infinite.
The same. Yeah.
You know, if in Halo Infinite we get some sort of extraction game type, that would be super cool. But that's gonna be that'll be my pick, honestly.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Wes, do you want to go next? Or you want me to go?
I can go, I guess. Off the top of my head, I think most underrated game type. I'm a big fan of Plaza Strongholds, and I think that's probably my favorite game type in Halo 5. And I think because of like the way to just manipulate Strongholds, the introduction of that game type is just huge, and I think that is going to be that's one of the best game types we've seen in Halo history as far as an objective and how to rotate correctly and how to control spawns and really manipulate an objective in your favor at all times, and like the qualities that it brings, and how important they are to like your team's ability to win. And how quick you're able to think on your feet in these situations. So I wanted to put Strongholds in there. My favorite Strongholds, Plaza. I think Plaza just had a lot of opportunity as a map. I think the bottom mid Stronghold just created so many dynamic fights that like that forced teams to really make a play, and because of it, we got a lot of a ton of plays with the camo. Being top middle, I think the boo plays. I mean, just iconic. So many different. There's like an APG triple kill that I run through my head. There's just so many like big one-on-ones that went down in that bottom mid hill to keep it alive and whatnot. So, gonna say that. I don't know how underrated it is amongst the pros, but I feel like when I look back at the Halo 5 time, like that's probably my favorite game type. So I'm gonna say it's underrated.
Okay. Yeah, I think the thing that I love about Plaza Stronghold is also the thing I hate about it, which is like that game type could just flip on its head so fast if you're not on top of your P's and Q's, right? Like it's very unforgiving. And I feel like Strongholds in general is very unforgiving, and that's why it kind of reminds me of like kind of more old school classic Halo feel, where if you're not on top of it, you're going to really get pounded into the ground. And also the fact that you're never out of it. I think that's a huge thing about Strongholds is like you could be down 99-0 literally, and we have actually seen it happen where a team comes back from being down 99-0 and is able to get control, get teams on a rotation, and cycle perfectly to make it happen. I like Empire as well, like the Empire Strongholds, because it's so hard to cap that bottom mid unless you have like the perfect slays and you all are like in sync to get in there at the same time.
That's almost too much, honestly. Empire.
I thought Empire was too much.
I think Plaza is what Empire like. That
well, Empire.
Season 1 Empire, people just ground pounding off the tower, like
dude, that was
so bad, dude. But with the newer settings, I think it's cool. I enjoy when Eden, Empire, or Plaza pop up, and it's like, okay, like these 3 Strongholds game types are fun.
I even like Rig.
I was not a fan of Rig.
Rig was good. I liked Rig as well. The rotations on Rig were always interesting to see.
It was one of those things though where as people found out that game type, I felt like it became pretty easy to kind of like split people up and really pounce on the one spawner and take advantage in that sense.
I like the asymmetrical maps on Strongholds. I'm a big asim guy, and I think that's why Empire kind of like didn't do it for me, is because it just it was very limited in the strategies. With the asims, you just have so many different routes and like there's different dynamics to each part and each route that you're going to go on. It's like on a symmetrical map, you're going to run into the same like opposite curve of on the other side and whatnot. It's very similar.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, I guess it's my turn. I'll pick a classic Halo game type since you guys both surprised me and picked Halo 5 and Halo 4. I'll pick one from Halo 3, which is actually my favorite game type in Halo 3, but I think it's severely underrated, and that is Construct King of the Hill.
It's a great one.
That's my favorite game type in Halo 3, and for a number of reasons. I think the better team wins that game type 9 times out of 10, maybe 10 times out of 10. I think you really get exposed for your positioning. You have to be on top of hill rotations, spawn rotations, weapons, power-ups. Like, it really has like everything that you can throw at a sandbox and Halo 3 kind of toss there, on top of like map positioning, being able to control top but also rotate, control spawns, and know when to, like, when you spawn, when to wait on your teammates to come to make a move to open something up for you, like all that. So I think Construct King of the Hill and Guardian Ball are kind of frowned on a lot in matchmaking, which I understand. From a matchmaking perspective, because in my opinion, I think they take a ton of coordination, which is just hard to kind of put together when you're matching up with who knows who, So for me, it would be, like I said, Construct King of the Hill. Love that game type.
Yeah, no, those are really good as well. And I really picked one just very, I was like, underrated. So I really tried digging deep to find one, but I agree. I would have said Construct King of the Hill and Guardian Ball as well. And I think amongst pro players, and even in when Halo 3 was at its peak, and the game types were super fresh and new, like in 2009, back then. I think Guardian Ball was always like, it's a game type that when you're scrimming, when you had a tournament, it's a great game type. But I agree. I think in matchmaking and in today's Halo 3, it's kind of frowned upon. But Guardian Ball is also one of those game types for me that I always loved, and it was just it was a good one.
Guardian Ball was my favorite game type in H3 until I didn't play it. But it really was. Like, I thought like that determined the better team a lot more so as well, because like back in the day when you were on land and you can like laser your shots across the map, it was very tough to break some of these setups when teams were so like constructed, and like it took a lot of cohesiveness in order to do so, or it took APG going under glass and getting a few kills, but not everybody had that on their team. You lived by the APG push, you die by the APG push back then.
It's so funny how different scrims and tournaments are in terms of like enjoyment compared to like your average matchmaking game, right? For game types, especially like Guardian.
Well, it's just like the lack of cohesiveness on Guardian is just sticks out so much more than on any other map, because you can't make a play on Guardian by yourself if the other team has a complete setup. Like,
yeah, I just think about Faisal and I like searching twos in matchmaking nowadays. It's like, well, our two teammates are running bottom mid again, Faisal. Like, it's like, well, what are we gonna do with this? Well, let's try to make the most out of it.
I know you almost got to react to whatever your teammate. I mean, it's calmless matchmaking, in 2020 or now it's 20. It's crazy. 2021. Yeah, that's what we're gonna say from now on. 2021.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna take some getting used to, but I think those are. I know I don't want to get into too many of these topics, just because there are some of them that I want to be full official topics and episodes. I know we still have to do. I think top 20 maybe too long. I mean, but it would be a good list. Maybe top 15. But we've been talking about it for a few episodes now, doing something of the sort. A top 20 or top 15 all-time list, and each of us come prepared kind of beforehand. Don't tell anyone what our list is and go through it together on stream. I think that would be fun. And like I mentioned at the start of the show, guys, like we're gonna, obviously we still have plans to bring you guys some cool interviews and with some pro players and other people in Halo. So we're gonna continue to bring that kind of content, but we're thinking about just keeping things fresh and making sure we keep you guys involved in the community. But as far as topics for today, I'm happy we touched on because that's what I wanted to do, was the team logos.
You want to do that for a while. I remember you bringing that up, like maybe first or second episode we were doing. You're like, hey, we should do the best team logos, guys.
And also, the most underrated map / game type. That was a good one too. Another one that we can say for another discussion was maybe something along the lines of, and this is specific to tournament play, like best losers bracket run, right? I know Wes, I think that was Wes's idea a long time ago. So we're gonna try to keep some of those fun topics going. I think it really sparks the conversation. But for today's, I mean, do y'all have anything on y'all side?
I think of one that's like, if you like looking around the pro scene, if you were forced to change your gamer tag to someone else, like so another pros, who would you like? Who had like the sickest name, right? Like who had like the most badass name where you're like, damn, that's a good gamer tag.
Like, I should have thought of that.
I can think of. I haven't put a ton of thought into it, but like one sticks out to me, and that's Strong Side. I thought Strong Side's gamer tag was awesome. And if you're able to really play at a high level, like being known as Strong Side is just like, it just sounds like a powerful name, right?
It's fierce until you realize that he got it from Homestar Runner, and it's literally just based on a joke. And then you remember that, like, that's Mike, right? You know, like he has this outward appearance. He's like this outward appearance of being like, you know, this fierce because he was in game, but then outside the game, he's just a clown, just a jokester, you know. So I feel like that name fits him on so many levels, you know. For me, man, I gotta think. There've been so many amazing players and pros, like something like.
I already know one for you, Faisal.
Something like maybe like Arcanum or something like that was a cool name. I thought, you know, it was really kind of mean and raw. Go ahead, Wes.
I feel like Legit is another.
Legit's a good one. I was thinking it, but it's amazing for what it is. And obviously, Legit in gaming is a cool gamer tag. But I was just in terms of like how they sound. Tizoxic, I think, was really cool. Tizoxic gamer tag I always liked. And actually, if I had to pick one answer for this question, I would say Fear Itself. I think Fear Itself was a sweet gamer tag. I think that was probably my favorite. If I could pick one, that would probably be Fear Itself.
You have nothing to fear but fear itself. Like that whole quote and everything.
Definitely. But
I remember he had that trailer to his montage where he played that.
Yep.
Who was that? Winston Churchill.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we have to fear is fear. What was
it? Fear. He's like, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, and like it was like played over like some Halo clips for his trailer, and it gave me goosebumps. I was like, I need to see this montage now.
Yeah, I remember that. We should have talked about that montage in our last episode when we were talking about the montage. So that would have been a good one. Shout out to Fear Itself in that montage as well. But I'm happy we kind of threw in that little fun topic at the end. But you know, I got work in the morning. Wes is trying to wake up to get his running started. I'm sure Justin, the family man himself, has stuff to tend to as well. So Justin, I'm gonna throw it to you. You know, help close us out and wrap up the first episode of 2021, episode 23.
Of course, man. You know, first episode 2021. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I was letting the guys know earlier we crossed 600 subs on YouTube, so that's absolutely amazing to see growth. To see people subbing when we haven't even, like, you know, like throughout the week when, you know, the episode's been out, people are still checking stuff out, engaging with the content. That really means a lot. We've got a lot we want to experiment with. We're throwing around the idea of maybe doing the show live sometime as well, streaming it live on Twitch and then posting on YouTube later. So we've got some different things we're going to mess with. So we want to hear all you guys' ideas for fun things for the show to do to take this to the next level. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share all that on the video. Let us know your ideas for topics. Absolutely give us a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't like it. Keep roasting Wes and I in the comments. It's fine. We can handle it. We love you all. Our socials will be in the description as always. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode next Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 PST as always. On my X, signing out. Peace, guys.
Go Ravens.